watched the most frustrating One Piece video ever. I'm currently rewatching One Piece, so I'm curious to see what he talking about as being the most frustrating One Piece video ever. I wanted to watch this video, didn't want to leave y'all out. So here we are.
Perfect.
Yo, this is a bit of an unplanned video. I'm supposed to be making another One Piece video right now, but recently something was brought to my attention and I feel like I have to make a video about it. Usually I don't do stuff like this, referencing and reacting to other people's content. You know, other people do what they do, I do what I do. It is what it is. But this video has been brought to my attention by a few different people recently, and I just couldn't help myself. The video is by a YouTuber by the name of Jello Apocalypse, and apparently it's very frustrating to watch if you're a One Piece fan. So obviously I gotta check it out. We all know how much I love to argue, and
the One Piece community will get on your ass. I don't mind the smoke, but a lot of y'all do. I'm talking about almost every woman I talk to, every friend that's a guy, every friend that's a woman I talk. Everybody loves One Piece, bro. And I don't blame them, because I used to watch One Piece when I was a kid. You know, the 4Kids dub, me personally, it has the best first season opening. And I had fell off of it like a decade plus ago. Now I'm spinning back to One Piece because they're at the Wano arc right now, and I'm trying to catch up. And as I'm catching up, I'm starting to see why people love One Piece so much. I mean, I liked it before, but I'm starting to love it more now since I'm actually like catching up.
Also,
Money.
all right, only 8 minutes, not that long of a video. This should be easy. This should be a breeze.
One Piece is the story of Loosey Goosey. He plays things fast and loose, but he got too loose, and now he's
The government has been lying to you. Our true history is written on magic Lego.
Okay, I mean, so far, I kind of fuck with it. It's kind of a funny look at your first time going through One Piece. You start out thinking it's just this dumb story about this goofy kid. And then, yeah, the true history is on magic Legos. So far, I don't really know what everybody's so upset about. Presentation is cool, too. I fuck with the art.
People on the Grand Line have the power of devil fruits, fueled by the dreams of what humanity could be. You know those dreams we all got. I want to wear something like a jacket.
This is exactly what I said. Who actually wants these fruits?
I hope nobody notices we have the exact same power. Dozens of devil fruits, each with different powers that make them all distinct. Asterisk.
I mean, I don't know. I find it additionally interesting that there are devil fruits that have such similar abilities. I know this video is using it as like a nudge, like a little jab at One Piece, but I don't know. I think it speaks to the mystery and the vastness of devil fruits.
Loogie Froogies give you control.
This narration is gonna drive me crazy. Loosey Goosey's, when he called Luffy that at the beginning, I let it slide. Please just call things by their real name.
Ones that can. Those are called special parameciums, which can also be spelled like this.
Okay.
One Piece is pretty wacky.
Which is to say most fights are just two people whacking each other until one of them decides to fall down.
I'll be one of the first people to say One Piece fights are not my favorite fights in all of Shonen or anything.
Absolutely not.
But I think reducing them to people just whacking each other is pretty fucking stupid.
That is also true. That's insane work.
It's not like One Piece fights have overly complicated choreography or anything, but there is a uniqueness to each fight with different abilities and different conditions around the fight. I don't know, I just feel like One Piece fights are better and more interesting than he's given it credit for.
What do you mean Robin doesn't get any fights? She's like the strongest character.
What?
Wow, man. Wow.
I'll never deny that One Piece has some sexist writing in it. I mean, it's Oda at the end of the day. I know your game, Oda. But the whole Robin thing, don't kill me, bro. One, where are you getting this idea that Robin is one of the strongest? I don't think Robin was ever really expected to be one of the strongest, other than when she was first introduced, which is like, that's the case for most Straw Hats. Most Straw Hats appear stronger than they are, and then when they join the crew, they kind of just, they end up in the ranks.
Like Luffy. Luffy was supposed to be like this strong ass nigga in the beginning that he's gonna be so tough to beat, but then we got the all-arm park, and even then, I mean, Luffy was strong, but they was struggling.
Happened to Frankie. I would say it happened to Jinbei. I think it's just a common thing. And then how interesting can you really make Robin fights? I understand there's a really good reason why Robin doesn't get any fights, as much as I hate it, and I wish Robin did get more fights, but grappling can only be so interesting. And I know there's gonna be people in the comments, but what if Robin got hockey? Then everybody with hockey stronger than her would still beat the fuck out of her. That's how One Piece works. I love Robin. She's one of my favorite Straw Hats, but let's be real.
Out for the biggest serialized adventure manga in history, only to find that the adventure stories aren't as good as the thriller and espionage ones, and the author should probably just be writing that.
Bro, what the f are you even talking about, bro? Bro, what the f are you even talking
What? Where are you even getting this from? One, how many thriller and espionage moments are there even in One Piece? He used the Sanji and Water 7 as an example. Sanji was cool as shit during Water 7. But really, other than that moment, I can't really think of any. This feels like the thing that, honestly, hardcore, diehard One Piece fans do this shit too. Where people will remember one instance of something and they really enjoyed that instance and they will constantly beg for Oda to do it again. When what makes that instance so special is that it was a moment in time, but that is not the core of what One Piece is.
I hate when people do that over on my main channel. I make like a really fire video that people really love and they never forget. And then they spam me for weeks to months. I'll post like a current video. That video was great, but bring back the 2 days later, I'll post something else. Yo, this video is amazing, but where is the, which I find it flattering, but damn nigga, I understand though.
In fact, I would go as far to say, apart from those one-off Sanji missions, One Piece's espionage stuff has been pretty underwhelming.
And watch as Lucy has to punch the Batman in order to stop the natural disaster from crashing down and destroying an island that's shaped like a circle. This is every single arc.
One Piece is very formulaic, but I enjoy that because of how One Piece plays with its formula and subverts it. One Piece islands are so unique and diverse. Why the fuck would you reduce them to, well, they're shaped like a circle? What?
Yeah, they are very diverse. Bro, y'all remember when, well, if you watch One Piece, y'all remember when they pulled up to that island with them two giants on there, bro? They had like a bunch of giant animals and giants walking all over the place and giant houses and trees, and even the seas itself in One Piece is really distinct because there's parts in the sea of One Piece that are just called stills. I think it's called still fronts. I forgot what they call it, but it's like where it don't got no wind. The waters are just still and they got these giant monsters. The world building for One Piece is something else.
What kind of point even is that? I think Oda does use the whole, we have X amount of time before this disaster happens pretty consistently, but I mean, that's usually only at the very end of the arc. It's not really tied into the overall narrative. Like you have Punk Hazard, Skype, and Fishman Island here. And I just realized Fishman Island is labeled garbage. Don't get me started, bro. Other than these three arcs ending in some kind of disaster that the Straw Hats need to navigate, there is like no similarities between the three of them. So to try to make this point and pretend like these arcs are all the same when this is the only similarity that they have, I don't know, man. Feels pretty disingenuous.
Very disingenuous. Come on now, bro.
Lamolazo is the right-hand man who swords like an idiot and can
Not
teleport
funny.
in front of any woman, so long as it's for sexist reasons.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
I have to tell people this all the fucking time. Zoro is not sexist. He is made uncomfortable around women fighters for obvious reasons because of his past. But Zoro has never had
R.I.P. the girl. You know what I'm saying?
any issue with women fighting. He's always respected women fighters. But I guess since he doesn't want to cut a woman in half or watch a woman die, that means Zoro's sexist and looks down upon women. It's so ridiculous, bro. And Zoro is one of the worst people to push this narrative on because Zoro doesn't give a fuck.
卑怯じゃねえかよ。お前は俺の目標なんだぞ。そら、男だとか女だとか、俺がいつかお前に勝った時もそう言うのか？実力じゃねえみてえに。一生懸命特訓してる俺がバカみてえじゃねえかよ。
Nami is a cat burglar who gets more pussy than the rest of the crew.
I already know he's gonna say some stupid shit about Sanji, but I'm gonna be honest, should I even say this? The way he's drawing these characters feels very pandery and it's making my ass itch. I'm gonna be honest. It's not like I care about how people depict characters or anything. It's your art, do what you want, but alright bro, you're trying too hard. And now let's listen to the millionth person called Sanji.
In light of recent allegations, our crew has decided to cut ties with Mr. Vinsmoke. We are currently in talks to replace him with the hot, suave, good version of Sanji from the Netflix adaptation.
No! Hell no!
Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind. This has to be bait. People already know this, but I enjoy Sanji's eccentricity. I think One Piece is an absurdist manga, so absurd things do happen, and you have to take those absurd things with a grain of salt. I think it makes sense why they toned Sanji down in the live action. I don't think any of that shit would have flew in live action. But when we're talking about a cartoon, a manga, an anime, it's purposefully ridiculous. And honestly, live action Sanji is bland as fuck.
Yeah, see, and that's why I like animes where people have different personalities no matter how bad or good it is. For example, Griffin. Griffin. but that's a realistic thing that would happen in real life. That doesn't make him bland. We have something to hate on and somebody to hate on. Griffin! I think that a lot of people try to formulate how a character should be in their mind based off of their own perspective. And I don't think that's how it should be. I think there should be characters you hate and there's characters that you love. And there's a reason why you hate those characters. Maybe they're pieces of shit. Maybe they're 304s. Maybe they're weirdos. Maybe they're, you know what I'm saying?
Compared to anime Sanji.
Robin is the most interesting character in One Piece.
She's a woman! Shut up, bitch!
I guess you could say Robin is the most interesting character in One Piece. I don't really think so. I don't even know if I would call Robin the most interesting female character in One Piece. How
Absolutely
can you
not.
call One Piece sexist simply for not focusing on Robin, as if all the other Straw Hats just get so much more attention than Robin? Robin gets more attention than most of the Straw Hats by the narrative. Outside of the core 5 Straw Hats, like the original ones from East Blue, Robin probably gets the most attention. She gets more than Jinbei, more than Brook, more than Frankie, more than Chopper. Really, she gets more than all 4 of them combined.
Marketable plushie.
Chopper is just a marketable plushie. That's not a lie. I love you, Chopper, though.
The rest.
Where
I
the
love
fuck
Chopper
is
too.
Frankie?
For most of them are so mid that their boat has more personality than they do. Huh? Main the Mission Master, the main cast, where most of them are so mid that their boat has more personality than they do.
Okay, this is a first. I've never seen somebody complain that One Piece characters don't have personality.
Which is so cap. From the beginning, they have so much personality. Usopp pissed me off. Luffy was an idiot, but he was that guy. Nami, it don't even matter what you do. You can breathe her way. She's gonna charge you some money. And she's a thief, but she has a heart. And she's like the big sister figure. Zoro, he's like the stoic, like get to the point type of guy, but he also like needs a little, he has a personality himself. Sanji's a big fucking simp, but he can cook, nigga. And he can whoop ass with them legs. This nigga basically One Piece Brock. Chopper, don't even get me started. Oh my gosh, please stop this.
That has to be the most ridiculous and obviously wrong statement I've ever heard. I just don't understand, man. Most people would argue that a lot of the Straw Hats are too good for the roles that they have. Like, they're such interesting characters that they wish they were more important to the overall narrative. The idea that they're bland, I'm at a loss for words.
Fight back against an all-powerful evil government, the lapdogs who work as their enforcers. Except the ones the author thinks we're supposed to like, even though they're...
Ah, shit. Here we go again.
I have to defend the Marines a lot, and I'm not gonna go through the whole thing defending them again, but if you look at the Marine characters and you think that Oda is putting them in front of your face to say these characters are infallible and you're supposed to like everything that they do and not have any problem with anything that they ever do or say, you are watching One Piece through the most simplistic lens possible, and it's kind of embarrassing to have to oversimplify such an already simplistic story. I think whenever I see somebody have a take like this about the Admirals, I already know exactly what kind of fan they are. They're so lacking in perspective and nuance, it's not even worth actually talking about anything substantial with.
That's a fact. That is a big fact. Have you seen Crocodile? What? Come on, bro. We gotta be honest with ourselves here.
Listen, the author has great ideas, but he's not always so good at the execution. Just look how long it takes
Crocodile's my guy, by the way, just saying, but I'm just, yeah.
for him to execute this freckle guy. Hey, don't worry, Luffy. We got a better one in the back.
Sabo is better than Ace.
You think these bellies in the story are both overstuffed? Sensei, Oda doesn't need editors. Old Peas has 1,100 chapters and twice as many named characters. I'm sure all of these guys are absolutely essential.
I think you can make the argument that One Piece is bloated. I think you could definitely make that argument for specific arcs, but I think this idea of looking at named characters and counting how many of them quote unquote matter.
That's stupid.
LOL, why isn't every character in your story a main character? What are you doing?
I'm glad we wasted pages on these dudes instead of seeing the Straw Hats actually have any kind of dynamic with each other.
Considering I made a whole video about the Straw Hats dynamic with each other, I don't really think this is true.
Watch his breasts grow larger, negative space grows rarer, and the art gets sketchier and sketchier because the artist would literally rather kill himself than accept help from or credit any of his assistants.
What the f is this weird ass criticism? Like, when did this become personal criticisms of the author? I don't really care about defending authors because if I'm being honest, I don't care about the author that much. Only as far as what they provide, but you don't know.
That's true.
Oda. I don't understand what this weird narrative is you're about to spin, but we don't really know anything about Oda and internally what's going on with him and his assistants. But it's pretty normal for mangaka to not want to hand over the art duties to anybody else. I mean, look at Togashi. That nigga would rather not make a chapter for years than let somebody else do the art for him. That's
He made Yu Yu Hakusho before he made Hunter x Hunter, he was even lacking while he was doing Yu Yu Hakusho. Damn.
Pretty normal for older mangaka. I don't know why he's trying to frame it as if it's like this thing where Oda wants to take all the glory for himself. It's very weird. It's a weird narrative.
Is reading too quick and easy? Switch to the anime and watch as time slowdown turns this angry broccoli man's one-panel Wii into a 10-minute long piss venture.
Hey, you're not gonna catch me defending the anime. Not today.
This is simply not up to Toei's standard. I know what'll fix this. That's better.
I mean, hey, you wouldn't hear me complaining.
Abandon your children.
Hey, I ain't never complaining. Hey, most of the women in One Piece fine and shit. What you talking about? Oh my gosh. Oh, I see why Sanji be tripping. Mm-hmm.
For inexcusably selfish reasons, don't worry. They'll always love you no matter what.
This is another problem I have with One Piece fans. People have to remember that this story is specifically following pirates. These people are not that concerned with morality. And it's something that's reinforced in the story time and time again.
That spins back to what I was trying to say. People like to make up in their minds how people in an anime should be based off of their worldview and based off of their perspectives. Like, they're pirates, my nigga. They're not gonna have the most moral in the world, my bruh. They gonna do some fucked up shit. That's why I just don't understand when certain animes come out and they hate on certain characters for doing bad stuff when that person is a villain.
Characters are not morally infallible. They do a lot of fucked up shit all the time.
Yes.
I think you can look at the way that these characters and their parents interact with each other as far as how it serves the narrative, but I hate this sentiment that like Usopp has to be upset when he meets Yasopp. Shit like that is pretty ridiculous to me.
Your daughters care about you, Oda.
Sexualize another child their age.
That was definitely one of the videos of all time. One Piece is definitely a fallible series. It has its fair share of flaws, but I always feel like when people talk about them, they feel the need to blow them up to the extreme. And then there's just so much shit in here that's just not even accurate or reduces the story so much just to give the criticism credence. But yeah, man, that's all I got for y'all boys today. Let me know what you think about this video.
And let me know what y'all think about this video in the comment section. I ain't got much to say. I kind of said what I needed to say throughout the video. And until the next time, I'll see y'all in the next video. Shalom.
Hey, listen.
Rose petals on the floor. The one from my dreams, and you're with me right now. Mi corazón te quiero. Right here and now, I'll give you a taste. Snake princess, I'll be your king.